Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Queer Couch, the couch of love and inspiration. As you can see today, the gorgeous queen that is always on my right hand side is not here today because we are on level two and yeah, we're not working from home so much anymore. Without further ado, our episode today is also an inspirational episode where I share one of my passions with you. Our episode last week was the Queer Couch Kizin, where my wife shared with you her passion for cooking and she showed you how she makes the West African dish called jollof rice that we both love so much. I hope you enjoyed watching that episode and I hope you also learned how to make jollof rice and you're going to give it a try. Um, I have always wanted to be a motivational speaker. The people that know me personally, my close friends, some of my family members, they know how much I've always had this burning desire to become a motivational speaker. And I've always discouraged myself and told myself that you have not even reached most of your goals, so how are you going to stand in front of people and try to speak to them about achieving goals and try to speak to them about going for what they want when you yourself have not achieved or are not really going for whatever it is that you want. And for so long, I stopped myself. For so long, I discouraged myself. And until one day, I came across a inspirational page, an inspirational quotes page on Facebook and Instagram, which is all about, encouraging people to go after their dreams, to do whatever it is that they need to do to get to where they want to get. And that quote said, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And then it got me thinking, like, why should I wait for me to reach one of my other goals in order for me to start pursuing my other goal? It's not supposed to be like that. You are supposed to start where you are with what you have to get to where you want, because to be honest, everything that you need, you have inside of you. You have all of the resources, and just start and everything else will fall into place. That being said, as I was just sitting alone thinking about what to talk about in this video today, one of my friends who calls me dad and I call him son then sent me a message this morning to say, hey dad, I got a job as a gardener. And I was so happy. As I was typing my message to say, congratulations, you've waited for so long for this, now's your chance. Another message came right away from him which said, but I rejected the offer because the man wanted to give me 250 Rand a week. And I feel that it's too little. So before I responded, I even deleted whatever it is that I had started typing and I had to send him a voice note. But before I did that, I took a moment to think, to put myself in his position. And his position at the moment is no income, is struggling. His position at the moment is him telling me every day how he wishes he could find a job. His position is him telling me that whatever it is that we can get for him, he will work no matter the circumstances, because the situation that he's in at the moment is unbearable. And I started thinking to myself, if I were him, if I were to be in that kind of situation where I don't know where my next meal is going to come from, where I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow or what I'm going to eat, I would have taken that job. And after that moment of thinking, I sent the voice note. But let me make this clear. I am not encouraging people to settle for less. I am not encouraging people to settle in any way. But settling for less means that you have something. The word less means that we are sort of like comparing, isn't it? So how is it less if you have nothing at all? How is it less if you are you are not in a position where you are able to do anything for yourself? You are at the mercy of other people. So do not get me wrong, I do not encourage people to settle for less. I myself don't settle for less anymore. I even fired the people that called themselves my bosses, my employers, because they were not serving me, because they were not seeing my worth. I was tired of them determining how much I was worth when I knew exactly that I was worth 1,000 times more than what they thought I was worth. So I fired them. I'm not going to say I quit or I resigned. I'm going to tell you what I did. I fired them from being my bosses and I made the decision to become my own boss. So this is the advice that I gave to this son of mine. I said, and also this message is is directed to people that believe in God, that believe in the Bible. And this particular friend of mine, this particular son of mine, believes in God, believes in the Bible. So this is the message, this is the advice that I gave to him. That reach out to that man that offered you a job and apologize to him profusely and take that job. Why? Because God blesses the works of our hands. It doesn't make any sense for you to be sitting at home and asking God to bless you. You have to create a platform for God to pour his blessings upon your life. You have to create a platform for God to pour his blessings, period. Because you can't be sitting on the couch and ask God to bless. What are you asking him to bless? Are you asking him to bless your idleness? Are you asking him to bless your sitting down? Are you asking him to bless your complaining, your whining, and your crying? It doesn't make any sense. You have to create a platform. And this job, if you take it, if you give it your best, if you work as hard as you can work, whilst you're working, whilst you're digging, whilst you're fixing that garden, and you ask God to bless your life, you ask God to bless your hustle, you ask God to bless the works of your hands, he will bless you. You will get the blessings. I also told him that take that job. Go work the 2 weeks and get that 500 rand. But at that point where he's handing you that 500 rand, have a conversation with him and ask him, the job that I'm doing, the work that I have done for the past 2 weeks, and this money that you're giving me, this 500 rand, when you look at it, does it compare? Is it enough? Show him that you're able to work hard. Show him that you're worth more than that 500 rand. And sometimes you won't even have to have that conversation with him, because him looking at you, him looking at the effort that you're putting in and the work that you're doing in his garden will show him that you're worth more than that, you deserve more, and he will give it to you. Because at the moment you have nothing, at the moment you have no source of income, at the moment all you're doing is complaining, at the moment all you're doing is crying and wondering where your next meal is going to come from and how you're going to put together money to pay your rent. And if you don't do that, you're going to be homeless. How you're sending messages to every single person to ask for help, to ask for money. Mind you, things are very difficult for everybody at the moment, and not so many people have much to spare, have a cent to give to the next person. There are people that are able to, but most people are struggling as much as the next person. So for you to reject an opportunity just because it doesn't pay much when you don't have any other option, when you don't have any other source of income, for me, I think It's just bad. And for you to just sit in your house and expect a miracle to happen just because you're praying, you're praying so loud, you're crying, you're claiming everything, and you're shouting and saying that 2020 is your year, and you're saying that you deserve this. I'm sorry. We don't get what we deserve. We don't get what we think we deserve. We get what we work for. That's just how life is. So my advice to you today is, don't sit and wait. Because I know there's another verse in the Bible that talks about those that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. The waiting that the Bible is talking about is not just sitting and talking. It's not sitting and waiting and doing nothing. The waiting that it's talking about is serving. You serve, you do something. Serve the Lord. Do something with your hands. Use the mind that He gave you. Use the legs that He gave you and the hands that He gives you to do something. And that way, you're waiting on Him. It's just like waiters. They're waiting tables. If somebody's a waiter, it doesn't mean that they just sit and do nothing. No, they serve. So waiting means serving as well. Don't just sit and do nothing. Serve and keep asking and keep praying. And you will get what you want. You will get